Have you ever gone to bed tired with your body asking for rest, but your mind insisting on running a marathon? 1,000 thoughts, worries from the day, uncomfortable memories, and that feeling that the off button simply doesn't work. Sleeping well has become a luxury, hasn't it? But what if I told you that sleep can be more than just a physical relief? It can be a sacred ritual of emotional healing, of connecting with your subconscious, and of deep mental reprogramming. Sounds bold? Maybe. But it is precisely in moments of silence and darkness that the golden light of consciousness can enter. With simple practices such as guided meditation before bed, the use of conscious breathing and symbolic visualizations, it is possible to transform your night into a true portal of balance, relaxation, and self-knowledge. And all this without having to escape to a spiritual retreat in the middle of nature. All you need is a comfortable pillow and a good dose of intention. This content is for those who want more than just sleep for the sake of sleeping. It is for those who want to heal emotional blocks, release silent traumas, and rediscover the tranquility of closing their eyes knowing that the day has ended in peace. Here we will show you how to create a welcoming, resting environment, how to guide your mind towards healing, and how to use sleep as a powerful tool for personal transformation. The good news: you don't have to become a monk or memorize Tibetan mantras. You'll learn accessible, practical, and even enjoyable techniques, the kind that make your body grateful and your soul smile. The reward? Waking up feeling lighter, clearer, and with a sense of planting the seeds of a new version of yourself. Let's go on this journey together, because sleeping well isn't just a matter of health. It's an act of self-love. And in this ritual, you are both the priest and the altar. There are days when we just want to lie down and switch off, but our mind decides it's time to revisit every detail of the week, remember things we said in 2011, and plan the next 10 years in 5 minutes. This mental overload is more common than it seems. A racing mind, even when the body is exhausted, is a sign of an imbalance between reason and emotion. The good news: this state doesn't need to be fought by force. It can be embraced and transformed with awareness. And the key to this is breathing and intention. Instead of fighting your thoughts, how about listening to what they have to say? Often, mental turmoil brings up emotional blocks hidden in the subconscious. It's as if the body says rest, but the soul whispers heal. In these moments, meditation acts as a bridge. It doesn't forcefully silence the mind, but rather invites gentle silence. With practice, you begin to realize that what seemed like anxiety may just be a need for internal attention. Imagine this moment as an opportunity in disguise. You can use restlessness as a gateway to self-knowledge. It is there, between loose thoughts and short breaths, that the invitation to create a ritual arises. Visualizing a golden light surrounding your body, for example, can already bring relaxation. A simple conscious breathing exercise can turn the key to a pattern that has been repeating itself for years. This is the power of mental reprogramming, transforming unconscious habits into conscious choices. It doesn't have to be perfect or too mystical. It can start with a peaceful environment, soft music, and the simple habit of closing your eyes with presence. Little by little, the mind learns that night is no longer a time for internal war, but for a ritual of rest and emotional healing. And sleep begins to come as an embrace, not as a struggle. So the next time sleep is slow, take a deep breath and ask yourself, what is my mind trying to tell me? Maybe it just wants to be heard before falling asleep. And that's okay. Accepting this moment is the first step to transforming it. That's how we start to change from the inside out, one night at a time. And before you know it, peace of mind will settle in like an old friend who's finally come home. Sleeping shouldn't just be about turning off the lights and hoping to wake up feeling good. Sleep can be a true ritual of emotional healing when experienced with intention. By making this time sacred, you open up space for your subconscious to reorganize and find balance. Guided meditation, conscious breathing, and visualization before bedtime are all tools that signal to your body, now is the time to let go. It's the beginning of a deep process of relaxation and mental reprogramming. Start by listening to some soft music, something with sounds of nature, like a distant waterfall or bird song. Close your eyes, breathe slowly, and visualize a golden light surrounding your body, as if you were being bathed in healing energy. This image, in addition to being poetic, has a real impact on the nervous system. You communicate to your brain that you are safe, and it responds with calm. Little by little, sleep becomes a kind of portal to self-knowledge. The most interesting thing is that this type of ritual doesn't require hours or superhuman effort. 5 minutes can make a difference. A simple example: while lying down, place your hands over your heart and give thanks for 3 things in your day. This tunes your emotional field to gratitude, dissolving tensions. Meditation doesn't need to be long, it needs to be honest. And when done regularly, it will clear the mental residue that prevents deep sleep. Notice how ancient people had their nighttime rituals: teas, stories, chants, prayers. All of this was not just tradition, it was a practice of connection. You can recreate your own ritual with elements that make sense to you: a lavender scent, a healing intention, a gentle mantra. The important thing is to make the act of sleeping a simple but powerful ceremony. A space where the body rests and the soul aligns with something greater. What if sleep, in addition to restoring the body, was also a bridge to inner transformation? Think about that the next time you go to bed. Instead of fighting insomnia, celebrate the chance to access your inner world. With consistency, what was just another night becomes a sacred space. And then sleep stops being routine, it becomes a gesture of deep love. A ritual of yours, non-transferable and full of light. The environment in which you sleep speaks to your subconscious all the time, even in silence. A room full of stimuli, bright lights, or clutter may seem normal, but it keeps your brain on alert. A cozy space with soft lighting, natural scents, and good organization sends the message it's safe to relax here. Creating this environment sets the stage for sleep to become a true ritual of emotional healing. And it starts with simple, conscious choices. Try swapping out white light for amber lighting or even a scented candle. Lavender, sandalwood, or even a hint of lemongrass can be powerful allies. Your sense of smell connects directly to your limbic system, the part of your brain that governs emotions and memories. So the right scent can instantly bring about a sense of calm. Combine it with a soft sound, the sound of a waterfall, for example, and your ambience will start to work in your favor. Use this moment as if you were setting up your own temple of relaxation. Organize your room. Choose fabrics that bring you comfort, such as cotton or linen. And if you can, include a touch of nature, a small plant in the corner, a stone that you like, an image that refers to healing. All of this speaks to the subconscious in a subtle but profound way. A balanced external space invites the body and mind to follow the same path internally. Want to go further? Create a small routine before going to bed. It could be applying an essential oil, writing down 3 intentions for sleep, or even listening to a guided meditation focused on emotional balance. Repeating these practices will train your brain to understand that it's time to switch off. This way, your environment becomes more than just physical, it becomes an energetic field that prepares the ground for mental reprogramming and healing emotional blocks. And do you know what's most beautiful about all this? This little corner becomes a reflection of your self-love. A silent reminder that you deserve rest, presence, and peace. Deep down, when you create a healing environment, you are telling yourself, I care about myself. And this is one of the most powerful messages we can send to our subconscious before going to sleep. Because every ritual begins with the space that welcomes you. Breathing seems too simple to cause major changes, right? But the truth is that breathing is one of the most powerful tools for accessing the subconscious. When done consciously, it signals to the body that everything is okay, and this okay opens the door to deep relaxation. A simple pattern such as breathing in for 4 seconds, holding for 2, and breathing out for 6 already activates the parasympathetic system. It is in this state that emotional healing begins to happen. This breathing rhythm slows down your heart rate, reduces anxiety, and prepares your brain for restorative sleep. Imagine yourself lying down, focusing only on the air that goes in and out. Little by little, your thoughts will calm down. This type of breathing creates a state of presence that is often lacking during the day. It is as if you are telling your body now is the time to let go of control. And it responds, relieving accumulated tension. You can make this part of your nighttime ritual. Before you go to sleep, sit or lie down with your hands on your abdomen and follow the movement of your breath. Inhale for a count of 4, hold for 2, exhale for 6, and repeat. Within a few minutes, your mind will begin to float in a state of lightness that resembles the waves of the ocean. If you want to make it even more powerful, visualize a golden light entering with the air and carrying away your worries as you exhale. That's when the magic happens. This breathing technique also helps you deal with obsessive thoughts or that feeling of your mind racing. Instead of trying to silence everything at once, you connect with the present moment, with each breath as if it were an anchor. It pulls you back into your body, back into reality, back into tranquility. And the best part? Something that's always with you, no app, incense, or yoga mat needed. Just your own breath. By including this practice in your sleep ritual, you are gradually reprogramming your mind to understand that breathing is trust. Trusting in life, in your body, in the natural flow of things. And in this space of trust, fertile ground is created to plant new seeds of peace, of balance, of true intentions. One breath at a time. And so sleep arrives not as an escape but as an embrace. Visualizing is like speaking the language of the subconscious, and it understands images much better than words. When you close your eyes and imagine a sphere of golden light slowly descending through your body, something deep begins to move inside. This light is not only beautiful, it represents healing, acceptance, and emotional cleansing. As it travels through your head, heart, and belly, it dissolves tensions, hurts, and old blockages. It is as if each cell receives a message: you can relax now. After this initial light, the ritual expands with symbolic scenes. Imagine yourself walking through a green field, where each step represents a letting go. The wind touches your skin, your feet sink into the earth like roots returning home. Nature in these scenarios acts as a mirror of your inner state: calm, steady, alive. The visualization does not need to be perfect, it just needs to be felt. And the more you practice, the more natural it becomes. Now imagine suddenly you fly. Your wings are those of an eagle, and from up high you see everything clearly. The problems of the day seem small from that altitude. This flight symbolizes perspective, emotional freedom, and the courage to move forward. You are not escaping from reality, but rather redefining it from another point of view. The eagle is not afraid of the storm, it soars above it. After the flight, a crystal clear waterfall appears, falling over you like a shower of energy. In this water, you visualize guilt, fears, and unspoken hurts disappearing. It washes away the weight of what no longer serves you and leaves only what is essential. You can even imagine colors in this water, such as the violet of transmutation or the green of healing. It is a moment of silent liberation, where the heart is relieved and the body feels physical relief. Each of these visualizations activates specific points of the soul, as if they were seeds planted in the darkness of the mind. The practice becomes a kind of internal film which you direct, star in, and heal at the same time. And the more real it seems, the stronger the effect. Over time, your subconscious begins to understand this ritual as part of the process of emotional balance. And all this happens while you prepare for sleep. Imagine yourself standing before the entrance to a cave illuminated by a soft golden light. It represents your subconscious, that vast inner universe where memories, beliefs, and emotions hide like ancient roots. As you enter, you take with you your breath, your intention for healing, and your courage. Inside, everything is symbolic. Stones can represent hurts, walls can represent traumas, and you are the explorer who has arrived to illuminate what was forgotten. Nothing is by chance, everything has a message. Little by little, you find roots intertwined in the walls of the cave. These are the emotional blocks that you have carried for years: insecurities, fears, inherited inner voices. But unlike a confrontation, here you don't need to fight with anything. Just observe, breathe, and allow the golden light to nourish what was previously dry. Emotional healing happens in welcoming, and this ritual symbolizes exactly that: care and patience. You can even visualize that you are carrying a jug of crystal clear water to water these roots. Little by little, they gain color, life, and flexibility. They represent your deepest truths, previously stifled, now ready to blossom. This process inside the cave is like a conversation between you and yourself, only without judgment. And the most beautiful thing is realizing that these roots are not a problem, they are the basis of your growth. At the end of the path, you come across a body of water. When you look into it, you see not only your physical reflection, but your purest emotions, intentions, and desires. It may be uncomfortable at first, but it is in this mirror that you recognize who you truly are. This inner image begins to align with your essence. From there, everything that does not resonate with it begins to naturally dissolve. Leaving this cave is also symbolic. You come back to the surface with more clarity, with the feeling of having found parts of yourself that were dormant. It is as if something inside has reorganized itself, creating space for the new. And this new will be nourished by the next practices, including the planting of the seeds that are to come. Because after we illuminate the roots, the next step is to cultivate what we want to see grow. Once you've explored the roots of your subconscious, it's time to plant new seeds, and we're not just talking about fancy metaphors. Intention is direction. And by guiding your mind with clarity before bed, you're programming your subconscious to work for you while you rest. At this time, choose words that vibrate high peace, love, trust, balance. Imagine that each of these is a luminous seed being planted in your heart. You can do this lying down with one hand on your chest and the other on your abdomen. Inhale deeply, and as you exhale, imagine yourself planting a seed in the fertile soil of your soul. Visualize roots sprouting, silent but determined, spreading steadily. These seeds do not need to be rushed, only present. Over time, they will become part of your new inner landscape, lighter, truer. If you want to make this ritual even more powerful, write your intentions in a notebook before going to sleep. Short phrases such as "Today I plant tranquility" or "I nourish my emotional balance." The act of writing, combined with visualization, creates a double path in the subconscious. It works like leaving a note for the mind before it goes to sleep. This is the path. And the mind, which loves a good symbolic story, responds by working silently throughout the night. Seeds can also carry images: a field of flowers, a leafy tree, even an entire garden if you like. Each element visualizes an area of your life being cultivated with intention and care. And if at any time doubts or negative thoughts arise, it's okay, just return to the image of the seeds. Take a deep breath and trust. Nature also weathers storms before it blooms. The beauty of this ritual is that it transforms sleep into an active experience, even while the body is at rest. The subconscious loves repetition and symbolism. The more you plant, the more it understands the path. And little by little, old patterns are replaced by new possibilities. Because what you plant with your heart grows with your soul. And the next step of the ritual shows how all of this begins to integrate into deep rest. After all this diving, breathing, visualization, intentions, comes the most subtle and powerful part: rest. Sounds simple, but it is in this rest that everything settles. As the body relaxes, the subconscious processes each image, each emotion released, each seed planted. Sleep becomes a fertile ground where mental reprogramming happens more deeply. And that is when the silent magic of healing begins to act. To do this, it is worth preparing your body with care. Lie down consciously, adjusting the pillows as if you were welcoming yourself. Bring to mind the most powerful scenes from your meditation: the golden light, the waterfall, the roots, the eagle. Feel these images slowly dissolving as if they were integrating into your body cell by cell. You don't need to do anything else, just allow sleep to complete what has been started. Thoughts arise, that's okay. Just return to your breathing and mentally repeat a simple intention: I am at peace, I am safe, everything is okay now. These phrases act as trails of light for your subconscious to follow during sleep. Over time, this practice will automatically become associated with the act of sleeping. Your body understands, your mind responds, and your sleep becomes a true ritual of emotional healing. This conscious rest also serves as a moment of surrender. You allow yourself not to control, not to seek immediate answers, but simply to trust. It is like planting and not digging the ground the next day to see if the seed has sprouted. Integration happens in silence, in the darkness of the night, in the time of nature, and all of this happens within you. Therefore, resting is, indeed, an active practice of self-knowledge. And that is the invitation to transform the act of sleeping into a ritual of self-love. It is not about falling asleep faster, but sleeping better. With intention, with presence, with awareness. Each night becomes a chance to rebalance emotions, release blockages, and strengthen new truths within yourself. And with this constant habit, emotional healing becomes not only possible, it becomes inevitable. The truth is that there is no such thing as instant emotional healing. It is made up of small daily gestures, like someone who waters a plant without rushing. Meditation does not need to be long or perfect. A conscious breath here, an intention there, a visualization before going to sleep, all of this counts. The commitment is not in time, but in consistency, taking care of yourself from the inside out, day after day. Even on days when your mind is racing or you feel lazy, it's worth sitting down for a minute, closing your eyes and breathing. This is meditation. This is choosing balance. The subconscious loves routine, so the more you reinforce these habits, the more natural they become. And little by little, what seemed like an effort becomes a pleasure. A daily gift that you give yourself. You don't have to do everything at once. You can start by choosing a quiet corner, adjusting the lighting, putting on some soft music, and that's it, the ritual begins. The idea is not to follow strict rules, but to create a sacred space that is your own. You can use natural scents such as lavender or sandalwood, or even images that bring you tranquility: a waterfall, roots in the earth, an eagle in the sky. Use whatever connects you. And when that doubt arises, is this working? Remember, it takes time for the mind to understand new paths. But if you persist, even in small steps, you will notice the changes. Less anxiety, more focus, nights of sleep that are truly restorative. And perhaps most importantly, a feeling of taking care of yourself like never before. This is real mental reprogramming. So keep going. Keep going even when it feels like nothing is changing, because everything is. Little by little, you will clear emotional blocks, nourish the right roots, and become more aware of your intentions. This process is never-ending, and that is a good thing. It means there will always be room to grow, to heal, to evolve. And each night will be another chance to transform your sleep into light. Now that you know the transformative power of meditation, conscious breathing, and visualizations to heal your soul and sleep better, the big question is, what are you going to do with this knowledge? Real change begins when we decide to take action, even if it's just a small step. Have you ever thought that by dedicating a few minutes a day to this ritual, you are planting seeds that will blossom into balance and tranquility? And the best part, these seeds grow in their own time, respecting your rhythm. The journey of self-knowledge and emotional healing is not linear. There will be days when your mind will be agitated, sleep will be elusive, and blockages will seem stronger. But that's okay, it's part of the process. Patience and kindness with yourself are tools as powerful as any technique. By committing to this ritual, you begin to reprogram your subconscious so that it works in your favor, dissolving fears, anxiety, and that restlessness that prevents you from finding true peace at night. Have you ever stopped to think that sleep is much more than just a moment of rest? It is a sacred space where the body recovers, the mind reorganizes itself, and emotions find their balance. Transforming this time into a healing ritual is not a luxury. It is a necessity for those who want to live better, feel lighter, and wake up with a renewed soul. The practices we discuss here are an invitation for you to take the lead in this transformation, creating an environment that welcomes, nourishes, and liberates. Now, I challenge you to reflect: what small action can you start taking today to cultivate this connection with yourself? It could be that moment of conscious breathing before turning off the light, a quick visualization, or even writing down your intentions for the night. And most importantly, how can you remind yourself daily that this journey is a gift that you give to your own life? It is in this daily commitment that true change happens, little by little, slowly but deeply. If you enjoyed this content, be sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications to follow more tips, practices, and insights that will help you take care of your mind, body, and soul. The path to emotional balance and restorative sleep is within your reach. Just take the first step and continue cultivating this ritual with love and dedication. And remember, each night is a new chance to transform your sleep into light and healing.